We are here at the second edition of our Consumer Protection Conference, and now we are with Mrs. Maria del Valle, Secretary General of Association of Spanish Insurers. Welcome to Bucharest.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to me to be here and to have the opportunity to participate in this event and to explain the Spanish experience in all the subjects related with consumer protection.
We're also looking forward for the discussions of the conference, but before the conference, we need to have a little chat about your Spanish experience in this field. So, all over Europe, insurers are facing a tough business environment nowadays. The years of financial distress have determined significant mutations in the consumer's behavior, which could last for the years ahead. How would you comment on the Spanish market evolutions in this context?
Consumer patterns have changed a lot in Spain, just like anywhere else. New technology has come, especially the internet, mobile devices, apps, and that brings us a possibility to interact with a consumer in a different manner. Look around what is happening not only in the insurance sector, what is happening in the retail stores, travel agencies, telcos. Change has come, and change has come to stay. And we have to try to take advantage of all this change to interact better with our clients and with our consumers.
And do you feel the insurance and reinsurance to be ready for all these changes?
Well, they have started to try to be ready to build this new time with their new clients, because we will face our new clients. The young people will use in the near future all these tools to interact with their insurance company. And if we want to keep the new generation insured, we have to use the new technology to interact with them.
And actually, there's no other chance. You need to keep them insured.
We need to do that. We need to do that, of course.
What are the major trends in the intermediaries' activity in the recent years, especially from the consumer protection point of view, because this is what we're talking about today?
Well, I think that the Spanish market is a little bit different. When we are talking about life products, the most of them are sold by banks. 70% of life products are sold by bank. It was that 15 years ago, and they still being very present in that field. And intermediaries have increased their part in the life market little by little. 15 years ago, they had 17% of the market, and now they have 23%. And that's a good point for intermediaries. It's completely different in the non-life sector. They used to have 70% of the market. Nowadays, they have 58%. We have new entrants of direct sellers, banks that are taking part of the market now. But I think that the intermediaries have a good point when we try to compare with other distribution channels. They know how very well their business. They can advise the client. They can explain the coverage. They can explain to the client if the product that they are buying meet their needs. And I think that is a big difference with other distribution channels, and they have to take advantage of this difference and don't have fear of the competition of other distribution channels. In UNESPA, we don't have any preference about distribution channels. We think that all are needed and all introduce good points in the contact with the consumer. But we think that intermediaries also have to take advantage of new technologies and use them to be in contact with their clients. I think that we are facing challenging years for the insurance market.
Maybe they could learn something from the Romanian brokers because they seem to have adapted very well to the post-crisis environment. In Romania, brokers have earned a lot of the market after the crisis.
Is the same in Spain. I think that all we have learned a lot of the crisis. We are trying to produce better products for our clients. We are trying to sell better our products. I think that the insurance product is a very good product. It's a protection from people. It's a protection from the properties. And if we produce good products and if we sold them appropriately, we will have an increase of our market in the coming years. I'm sure of that.
Let's go a little bit to the motor insurance segment, which is very important in Romania, especially when it comes to claims. I'm sure that in Spanish it's the same thing. So what are the most relevant experiences in your market on this segment?
Well, in the motor insurance field, I think that is the insurance that it must known by citizens. Everyone that drives a car has a motor insurance. They know their coverage, they know what they want, and I think that is a good point for the motor insurance. It's the most known by our clients. What we have done all these years, we have worked a lot to try to provide a better response to the persons involved in road accidents, to pay as quick as possible, to give satisfactory results to all of them. And we have done all of this by the means of self-regulation, putting in place a lot of agreements among insurance companies. We have done that in order to speed up the payment of material damages. We have more or less 1,900,000 claims with material damages per year. And now we have a system that allows us to pay back the reparation in only 1 week. We have also put in place agreements with all the health services, public and private, to pay back the health services that they have provided to people injured in a motor accident. And finally, we have an interesting experience because we have a system that allows us to assess the compensation for personal damages. Is a law that is compulsory for courts, and this law has allowed us to pay equal compensation for equal damages. This law has allowed us to find agreements before to go to the court with the victims, and that has been in benefit of the victims and in benefit also to insurance companies that have paid their compensation in short periods. And nowadays we are reviewing this system, this law, and we are doing that with the consumers and with the victims organization. And I think that in the next months we will have a new law in that field that will allow us to settle agreement with victims and to solve all the problems out of the court. And I think that is an important tool in Spain.
Yeah, maybe we will learn a lot from your experience because we also have many problems on this segment with the claims and everything. Now let's go a little bit to the property segment. The last decade has clearly showed an increased intensity of frequency of the weather events with catastrophic effect. At the same time, despite the insurance efforts, it seems that the protection gap is far from decreasing in a satisfying manner. Which is the situation in this respect in your country?
Well, we are lucky when we talk about catastrophic events, because in Spain we have a special system to tackle with this event. when we are talking about terrorist attacks, when we are talking about floods, windstorms. We have a special purpose insurance fund that cover all these claims when they happen. And it works very, very easy. A small sum is paid by the policyholder. It's only a little part of their premium. These little sums feed this special fund.
It's mandatory?
It's mandatory. And when something happens and the property or the person is insured, they take their indemnity, they take their compensation from this special fund.
So what are the risks covered? You've said terrorism, floods?
Floods, all the natural events, earthquakes, all the natural events, plus terrorist attacks. You have to remember that Spain was a country with a terrible past when we are talking about terrorism.
So it's recently introduced, the terrorism?
No, it was not. It was introduced in the 60s, and the system has been working for the last 70 years. It's for that we are very lucky, because I think that we have a very good solution to face this kind of catastrophic events.
Does Spain have a large exposure to risks, the catastrophic risks?
Yes. Today and these days we are suffering the effects of floods in the north of Spain. We have also earthquakes. We have some volcanoes in the Canary Islands. Well, we have a little of all the events, and that have allow us to cover all the properties at a reasonable price, because we have this kind of solidarity fund that pay everyone, and we can sell our insurance no matter where do you live at a normal or at a level price, without charging anything else, because you are living in a catastrophic or a potential catastrophic zone.
Well, thank you very much. We'll be waiting for the rest of the discussion during the conference.
Thank you very much. For me, it has been a pleasure to be with you, and I'm very happy to be here in Bucharest. Thank you very much.